Hey everyone, welcome back to Pokemon Reborn. So last time we left off, we dealt with Radomus, and we got our 8th gym badge. It was the Millennium badge. And then the power went out. And everything went absolutely crazy. Or rather, we were just pretty much left alone. So if we come all the way out here, Elias will be here to greet us, and he will tell us that he will help us escape. In reality, he tries to trap us, and Kane is going to come to our rescue and basically make sure we get out there safely. There's a healing shard right over here if you want to use it. And if we move down over here, hopefully don't have to waste our repel on these small patches of grass. And we want to take a left once we get to the bottom line, the bottom path. So once you get within range of this guy, you will realize that it is actually Radomus himself. You can't really go right. You can go right and you can have one battle with one Meteor Grunt, and that's pretty much it. Anyways, he will show us his secret of his labyrinth, which basically allows us to run on the top of it and escape. You can see all the Meteor Grunts running around on the ground. It's interesting, I don't know if you can actually battle all of them if you go back into the maze. I don't think you actually can. I think this Meteor Grunt right here will actually stop you. Then, I had no idea that she was actually going to talk to me. Like, from up here. I'm sure that must be a glitch. But anyways, moving on from here, we can just go down the stairs right here and exit the labyrinth. I don't think you can actually battle most of the Meteor Grunts in there, but we want to head back to Reborn City. So now that we are back in Reborn City, it's time to begin our hunt for Luna, and we're gonna need some extra connections to do so. So the easiest thing to do is to go over to your gang's hideout. If you're Magma, it's literally right here. If you're Aqua, it is over in the alley in the Lapis Ward. And again, this next mission we could have done for a long while, but it's basically you invade the other gang's hideout, and you basically invade the other gang's hideout, and you could have done this for a long time now, probably for a couple of gym badges now. And for some reason I never got that. Over here we want to talk to our gang leader. We want to talk to him a couple times, and he will tell us when we're ready and up for it, then we should go to the other gang's hideout and in the mission, pretty much. You're at the Aqua Gang hideout, or if you're in the Aqua Gang yourself, you'd be over in the Magma Gang hideout. You talk to the two grunts that are blocking you way to initiate a battle. After you win that battle, the grunts should move aside and you will have free access to the other team's hideout, which is a good time to show the next event. So basically you need it to be night. So maybe this should be enough, I think. And you also want it to be windy, so I want to change the weather to normal wind. I'm gonna have to leave and re-enter to kind of reset this. And you will find a Murkrow perched right here, and that is how you get the Prankster Murkrow with Perish Song. So again, you could have gotten this like 2 gym badges earlier. It's really nice because if you are Aqua Gang, you can get this pretty much immediately, and it will help you out immediately. If you are not Aqua Gang though, you should still get it in time to help you out with things like the Gargantuan Steelix and the Ditto Arceus. So now to finish the mission off, you want to go up to the opposing gang leader and deal with them. I'm not going to show this on screen because they only have like level 45 Pokemon. And sure, if you're doing this mission as soon as possible, it could be a little bit difficult. But you have the option to wait on this until this point in the story, so you don't have to do it immediately. After the battle, they will all clear out of their own little base, and you can now go back to your gang's base and complete the mission. So we're in our gang's base. You want to talk to your gang leader once. He should give you a reward for that. It'll be an event Pokemon, which is really neat. And then you can talk to him again, and you have to talk to him about 3 times. So, the first time is your reward, the second time he'll say he'll, your family, he'll do anything for you. The third time he will say you want into 7th Street, and they will tell you how to get into 7th Street. So I'm going to meet you over in the Lapis Ward. The Lapis Ward is where you will find 7th Street, or rather the entrance to it. So if you are in the Magma Gang, you'll come into this little house here, and you'll move aside. There should be an elevator right there, and that is your entrance to 7th Street. If you're in the Aqua Gang, you actually want to come up all the way over here, and I believe this is your entrance into 7th Street. If I recall correctly. I'm pretty sure there's different entrances. So anyways, we want to come back over here and head into 7th Street. So there's actually a lot of random trainer battles running around here and a lot of my items on the ground, so I'm going to talk to you as soon as I take care of all of those. Alright, so we're back. 7th Street is now a little tiny bit cleaner. So now there's a lot to go over here. There is so much to do here. So starting off over here, you will find a gang member of your gang, and they will be selling an item called Blast Powder. So basically what Blast Powder does is, and by the way, you do want to buy one of these, but what Blast Powder basically does is when you mine a rock, after you finish mining it, there's nothing left. There's just like this dud right there. With Blast Powder, you blast open the rock, and you can re-mine it. And when you're finished, the dud disappears. So if there's like a mining rock in your way, you want to mine it like twice using Blast Powder, and you can get it out of your way. So down here there's also a bunch of move tutors, like one here, and a couple over here. I don't really find anything they have useful, but maybe you will. I'm not gonna go calling any of it useless, because I know somebody somewhere out there has found a use for every one of those moves, probably. If we come inside of here, this is actually the Nature Changer's house. For about 3 heart scales, he will change a Pokemon's nature to anything you desire. That sounds pretty nice, right? I believe it used to be 1, but it would change it to something random. So people would just sit there soft resetting non-stop. You don't have to go through that now. Also, something I didn't mention, but there is a trainer over here in the watering hole. This guy I'm talking to right here. You want to lure him out. Stand right about here so he will walk over to you. On the basket that's right behind him is a rare candy. So if you don't lure him out, you can't get that rare candy. And something else I didn't mention was inside of this room is a PC and a healing machine, which I don't really need, but it's whatever. I think that's pretty much it for everything except this over here. A purple shard right there. But anyways, over here is a salesman. This is continuing the missing Pokemon side quest, basically. Again, it's the longest side quest in the game. We've literally been working on this since we started, and since we got scammed in the Grand Hall as soon as we started our adventure. So you want to talk to the Hustler, and you want to buy his powerful Pokemon for 2 blue shards. That guy over there will scam you, and the Hustler will proceed to say that as long as the city and the police are in disarray, you're not going to find him. Which is a strong hint to saying, we can't do anything now. It also tells you that if the police were not saved during the events of the Barrel Ward's destruction and Ori running off and everything like that, you will not be able to follow up on this side quest. So now we can talk to this guy here. You don't really have to talk to him, but you can buy all the Pokemon in these cages. And you do want to buy them all. There's a lot of rewards that you can actually get for this. Also, this Ditto probably shouldn't be here. You could free it if you were in the Blackstream factory and you knew how. I have my own video up on that. Or we actually went over that in the Blackstream factory episode. So I'm just gonna have to buy this again. I guess I didn't buy it on my Magma Gang file, I'm not really sure. But you want to buy all of these guys. So some of these are actually safe to do what you please with them, and some of these are not. No, I don't want to nickname it. So the Loudred, the Makuhita, the Vanillite, the Cyndaquil, and I believe the Roggenrola are all Pokemon that you don't want to do absolutely anything with. They are part of a side quest that we're going to work on much later, and you don't want to risk losing those Pokemon or changing them or evolving them. The Loudred is only the second member of the Loudred line in this whole entire game though. So if you did not grab the Whismur at the start of this game, you are free to breed that Loudred so that you can actually complete the Pokedex. But otherwise you don't want to train the Loudred that you actually got here, you don't want to evolve it or anything. You need it for later. So as soon as we leave, if we've gotten all the Pokemon from this salesman, DJ Arclight will be over here and he will reward you with a lucky egg, which is pretty nice actually. But we're not quite done. So there's something I have to go over that I didn't go over earlier. And to do this, we actually have to go back into the Lapis Ward and go all the way down here to Mrs. Crodberry's house. So, after the first gang mission where you raided Mrs. Crodberry's house, you could actually come back in here and you could talk to these two and trigger, like, sort of an event. And afterwards, as soon as you walk to this point, the officer would give you the bike voucher. You can still do it now, and I think you can even do it much later into the game. So we'll get ourselves a bike right there. But we also can now go back down here to 7th Street and trigger another event. So I believe you want to kind of be walking around this way, this direction, and Mrs. Crodberry herself will be over here and you will spot her buying Pokemon. Whoever your gang leader is will pop out and they'll say, oh, let's go teach this crazy lady a lesson. So we are going to go back and raid Mrs. Crodberry's house yet again. Basically, you want to go over here and you will find your gang leader waiting outside. They will tell you that they will basically wait for you and look out for you while you take care of her. So I would recommend saving right in front of her. She has a full team of level 60 Pokemon, but it's not really that notable. There's only 2 Pokemon on her team that are holding items. One is a level 63 Slaking, not really sure how people prefer that you say it. And it's holding the leftovers, and then she has a level 62 Abominable, I believe, and it's holding the Assault Vest. After her inevitable loss, she's going to throw a massive hissy fit. Your gang leader should step in and he will tell her to shut the heck up or he's going to go to the authorities. You will come out here and you will talk to your gang leader and they will give you a TM. If you're in the Aqua Gang, it will be TM 18 Rain Dance, and if you're in the Magma Gang, it should be TM 11 Sunny Day. So now that that is taken care of, we can actually go back down to 7th Street and it's time for one last event, which I won't be taking part in right now. But down here, after all of those events, you will find the opposing gang leader. They should have a level 60 weather team, 5 Pokemon, and it's pretty rough. So at the moment, I just want to wait on it. You can do this at any time, and what this will get you is the opposite TM. So if you got Sunny Day for defeating Mrs. Crodberry, you will get Rain Dance from the Aqua Gang leader. If you got Rain Dance from defeating Mrs. Crodberry, you'll get Sunny Day from the Magma Gang leader here. But we're not going to take care of that right now. Also, this lady is down here. So she only appears during the morning times. And if you talk to her, she'll eventually ask you for the Oddishweed. And what she'll give you in return for it is a Chespin Egg. So again, that's pretty nice, and I think we're caught up on pretty much everything. Actually, no, there is one more thing that we need to take care of. So over here is like sort of a secret passageway into this laboratory. And over here you'll find this lady. She will battle you at first. And then she will ask for 3 different Pokemon. This is the type Null quest, and basically first you want to give her a Carvanha, secondly you want to give her an Unpheasant, and finally you want to give her a Luxray before you're allowed to battle and catch type Null. So Carvanha is accessible to everybody. If you were in the Aqua Gang, you got it as a quest reward. if you were in the Magma Gang, you can eventually get access into the Aqua Gang, and you go all the way to the back and fish in the small pool of water for the Carvana. Unpheasant is something, I believe P-Doves were available and you could have trained one up. Or you can wait just a little bit more further into the story and you can find Wild Unpheasant and just catch one of those. Luxray, the Luxray line is very unfortunately only available by buying it from the game corner in the Onyx Warden. It cost about 5,000 coins if I recall, and to roughly translate that over, I believe that is something like 100,000 Poké Dollars. But we're not going to be doing this yet. But I think we finally took care of absolutely everything down here. Also, you'll notice the salesman over here, he's gone. DJ Arclight got to him. So now we're going to actually do what we came down here to do, which is hunt for Bennett. Assuming you've been following the story, you kind of know that you're going to be looking for Luna, who Bennett has kidnapped. So you want to start your search with the gang member that would be right over here, usually. And he'll give you a little bit of advice on where to look, and after that you want to talk to this guy over here. He will try to... He normally sells you things, but this time he'll give you a little bit of info. I don't know if I went over this shop. There's really not much to it. Again, you could buy like light balls. You could also buy a slow candle here. I would buy one if you want to get a Litwick later. Might be a bit spoilery. I think afterwards you want to talk to this gang member. And he will give you the advice that they might have headed into one of the watering holes. So from here, you want to enter this house right here and then come out. And there is Bennett. So we want to follow him into this, I have no idea, water hole, sauna, whatever it is. And he will reveal the location of this door over here to us. So we're not done yet. Over on this side is a rock that we're going to actually move out of the way. So seeing as I don't really care what I get down here, I'm just going to spam this really quickly and lapse the rock. Next you want to use the blast powder to reopen this dud and mine it. I swear this must be painful to some people to see me actually doing this. But once you mine that dud, it will be moved out of the way and you will find a rare candy. Not the rare candy you give to your Pokemon. Now if you leave that section or that area, this guy over here is going to actually rob you. So we're going to go find him all the way down here. Kinda in the corner in this chain fence link area. After you defeat him in battle, he will give you your rare candy back. And now we can actually put this item to good use. You want to go come all the way back to this water hole. You'll find this guy who will talk about how he would trade that rare candy for his own Pokemon. And you'll get a Piplup out of it. So that is 2 starters down here, pretty much. So I think we're about, what, 4 starters down? Which is really nice, but now we have to move on, unfortunately. And we're moving on all the way down here into the story. So if we come down here, we will be absolutely surrounded. And they will lock us up. So in order to move on, you want to actually talk to this book and read through it. And the guy in the cage next to us will release his clef key and we will be freed. So this next section is a bit of a maze. And I actually have a map in the description below. It's got the path pretty much routed out. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't put the spots where you're supposed to actually rest and watch for the spinners. And when I say spinners, I mean people like that lady over in the middle 3-way section. 3-way corner, whatever. She's turning her head back and forth. You're supposed to stop there and wait for her to look the other way. But actually, you want to come inside here first and grab this spell tag. You can also read the books if you really want. It's kind of the key to solving the next puzzle. Anyways, I'm going to wait for her to look the other way, and I'm going to move. And now we're going to wait for this lady over here. And you want to wait for her to move out of the way. I probably could have done this a lot better. But now we want to come all the way down here and move a little bit over. And you want to wait at this section. And move on. This door right here is locked, so don't go trying to do anything down there. So now this is the section that I would recommend saving at. I believe this is the spinner that gives people the most trouble. I was saying you want to save right at the spinner, and it's really difficult. But you want to slowly slip through here. And again, I would recommend saving right here. The spinner seems to give a lot of people trouble. I can understand this first spot because you can literally only see half of them. You can kind of recognize their back or their cape, and you just need to move as soon as they turn to it. And then if we move all the way up there, we've reached the exit. And as soon as we reach the exit, they will all disappear. You can come back here and go wherever you want. Not that it really particularly matters because there's nothing there. So now there is a bunch of trainers. I'm going to talk to you as soon as I beat them all up pretty much. So I just finished beating up all the cultists pretty much. That's very much so what they are. Something interesting is there's a couple healing shards on the left and right side, but if you actually take care of all of one side of them, you can just straight up leave the place. I feel like that should not have been intended, but hey, it works. So there's actually a puzzle here. There's 4 colored Arceus statues around here. And basically what you were supposed to do was basically read the books on the right hand room in the previous room with the maze. And the Arceus statues will give you a quote, and you're supposed to match it to numbers like a verse, kind of. Like this is some sort of Arceus Bible. So the first one would be... Wait, I put the wrong number in. Oh, I'm silly. Really, really silly today. First one should be 2, 3, 0, 3. And you'll know you've gotten it right because there will be a colored portion of the fence corresponding to the statue, and you will not be able to input anything further into the Arceus statue. So that's the red one. The purple one should be 0, 2, 0, 4. And then over here on this side should be 3, 8, 2, 7. And finally for the blue pin, it should be 1, 6, 0, 5. And with that, the gate will actually disappear. All of these will be in the description below, just in case you have a hard time hearing me or anything like that. But if we move forward, we will be treated to a cutscene. I believe one of these cultists looks pretty familiar. You can actually notice this right from here. But basically, we will free Luna, Radimus will show himself, Gardevoir will teleport like half the cultist away from here. And from this portion on, we're done with that area. You can answer whatever you want and you will get the crystal key. But something interesting is that we can actually come back down here, and if you have a soul candle in your inventory, you can talk to the altar. And you can actually get a Litwick for your trouble. Anyways, that's pretty much the only interesting thing that you can do down here. You can buy soul candles now. They only cost 2,000 Poké-Dollars, and you can buy them in 7th Street, no less. So you don't really have very far to go. In fact, I showed you the guy who sold them earlier. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that part. This is 7th Street, and we took care of 7th Street. We took care of the Sanctum. I don't recall what it's called. we found Luna, and we're gonna move on to our 9th gym badge in the next portion. Which is a really funny thing to say because, you know, only 8 badges ever, but nope, 9 badges in Reborn, or 18 badges in Reborn. So anyways, I'll catch you guys then.